Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's 2022 Tournament Game 4, where we are playing Nazca. This is turn 34. Jump into things. So, right off the bat, we have some incoming trade. Lightless Lanterns, 2 Lightless Lanterns from Ulm. Happy day as we continue trying to ramp up our research via Lightless Lanterns. Next up, we have some Research Thaumaturgy 3 completed. We're now gonna take a little sprint up enchantment, hopefully. We did some site searching in Naranthian with Kusi, our Royal Malqui, and we found a painted cave. So site searching astral +1. Pretty nice. And then we're gonna go back to battles. So there was a magic phase battle here. We're gonna look at that after the fact. We're gonna look at that because that's the only actual battle. Oh no, sorry. There's a battle between Agartha and Ulm. So we'll look at that in the not us battles. So in the meantime, we attacked. This is interesting. We attacked the Indies in Underhome, the underwater province, with our little stack of supayas, right? So we've got Kuyochi, the Huron priest here, with a ring of water breathing. Very simple setup going on there. We are up against a very small amount of mermen. So we are going to do a blessing twice. Blessing, boom. Then the supayas are going to go ahead and fly. Iron Skin, this is super dangerous and very fortunate that they actually came down and landed, because these guys might have killed Kuyochi. It's possible that he survived, especially after getting the temper flesh off, right? But very dicey. That being said, the supaya just obliterate these mermen pretty damn easily. No losses. Very nice. And then Vanheim attacks. And Vanheim attacks with a thug. Okay, so this is very interesting. This is pills of water breathing, chainmail of displacement. So the chainmail of displacement is a nice booster for defense skill. Because this Vanadrot is under... By the way, this is a Vanadrot, right? Not a Van Jarl. This is a Vanadrot. This is expensive cap-only mage, right? This guy, because he's underwater, he does have slightly reduced stats. Underwater penalty of -3. But still 27 defense skill because he has some experience. And he has a main gush of pairing, which is another 6 defense. And then a Mace of Eruption for some AoE damage to try to deal with whatever he's going to be fighting down here. Unfortunately, he's fighting me, so this is going to be kind of interesting. This is going to be attack skill 13, right? Because he's gonna blessing himself. Ooh, he's actually casting Iron Skin. Oh shit! Holy fuck! This guy is going to be really difficult for us to beat. Iron Skin. So his protection is 29. He has his bless up, which is a very competent bless, right? Magic weapons, air shield. Ooh, he has air shield from the Throne of Air. Shock, poison, fire, cold, defense 3, strength 2, blood surge 3, dark vision 50, combat speed. Really good. Defense skill 30 on this fucking guy. Like, hot damn. And it's not like he does a little bit of damage. And when he kills something, and he's definitely going to kill something, when he kills something, he's going to get even harder to beat. Blessing, he's going to mist form, and as he goes to mist form, the supayas fall down around him. So we've got spectral spears at 13, 14 on some who have experience, right? Hitting against defense skill 25. Because of the harassment penalty. Let's see how this goes. Just a massive amount of misses so far from both sides, right? Defense skill has been harassed down to 24. He's got an attack skill of 14 and 13, but he is swinging against 17s, 19s, 18s. So he should probably hit first. And if he hits, he's going to kill, because these Supayas do not have much HP, and they have no health, or no protection, right? So either of these will kill. Oh my goodness. Why is he not getting any hits in? Maybe he is. Yeah, he is. Did we hit him? We did hit him. Now he's weakened. He is hitting us, but he's targeting different individuals. You can see, so he has removed the Twist Fate from these two Supayas in the front. But we just nicked him, it looks like. Yeah, we hit him for a spectral... We hit him in the arm for 1 damage. Yeah. Mistform negated 4 points of damage. But that one hit weakened him. That's pretty interesting. Pretty unfortunate for him, actually. Ooh, 2 more hits. And he's stunned. Through shock resistance 5, he's stunned. Wow. Oh, the stun mean his defense plummets. He's gonna... Are we gonna get him? His misform's gone. Wow. Holy shit. How fucking lucky. How fucking lucky. That guy... Those Twist Fates came in clutch there. Because if he'd killed, right, like, if he'd killed, his Blood Surge would have activated, meaning that he would have even slightly higher defense, but more importantly, he'd have higher attack, right? Which means he would be more likely to hit the next time, and continue to kill. That Mace of Eruption absolutely could have started nuking some people down. Well, actually, I say that. The Mace of Eruption would have been negated partially by the fire resistance, so never mind. It would not have been nuking people down. He still would have been killing off of the base damage and the main Gosha pairing base damage, so that's really interesting. We just won against Vanheim. That Vanadrot, that's fucking expensive. That is a 410 gold commitment from Vanheim, and he's an Earth random too. Holy hell. This is a very expensive mage. Wait a second. Was he 311? Yes, okay, he's 311. Damn. That's kind of crazy. And we got a chainmail of displacement and pills of water breathing out of that. That is pretty intense. Cool. Moving on. We had a battle in Blackport. This is just a ping. So we're just gonna check. We were just checking what's kind of here. Lots of undead. Lots of long dead horsemen, soulless, long dead, etc. What's important is what are the commanders here, and do they have anything? So there's a couple of base commanders, but specifically there's this guy, Milagos, whatever, the Lich, 5 death and a bunch of death gems. 5 death is actually not that big of a deal. That many death gems is not that big of a deal. Without a commitment of higher death. So probably he's just going to do like a whole bunch of hordes of skeletons, which I think is fine. This is actually doable by us, but we would have to have a lot of units. One specific thing that we can bring in, obviously, is the Sun Guard to basically insta-kill any undead that they hit. But that would still be a lot. There's a lot here. There's a lot of units here. And there's enough commanders that it's going to be very, very difficult for us to actually snipe commanders with. So this is something that we'd have to bring a concerted force against, but we can probably do it. The issue is obviously I could Eyes of the Condor to verify this, but like, it's potentially safe to assume that the throne province filled with the dead is probably the fucking Throne of Death. It might not be, but it probably is. And we definitely don't want the Throne of Death. So there's that. Then we have some battles versus Agartha. We got attacked in Ironwood Forest. I'm assuming this is the force. Yeah, this is the force that was north of Ironwood. So unfortunately, we did not pin them, but that's okay. They're going to win there. No losses. We attacked in Austin Glen. And this is our main force. And interestingly enough, he didn't move. He did not move his Golem Crafter and these Magma Children. I was kind of, I wasn't sure if he was going to move or anything like that, because he's kind of hemmed in. But also, I've been kind of waiting for him to do like a PD dump trap with one of these raiding forces. But he didn't seem to do it here. I'm assuming because he probably didn't have any money. So I think this is going to be pretty one-sided, honestly. Because the Magma Children don't scare us that much because of our Bless. We have 10 fire resistance on our Bless. You know? What goes up comes down, and everything just gets obliterated. And even those Magma Children just get annihilated. 3 Aukak Runa, Axemen, 1 Spearman, and 3 Condors dead to the... And the Condors die because even though... if we take a look at the Magma Children... So we have 10 fire resistance. The Magma Children have a 10 armor-piercing fire shield. But... I believe this works... Fire shields work based off of the length of the weapon. So I think if you have like a longer weapon, you potentially take less damage. But Condor Warriors have... they have length 0 weapons, so they're kind of more susceptible to fire shields. Also just possible that some of these Magma Children just swing back. But yeah, maybe. Either way, I mean, that's a pretty convincing victory there. We're happy with that. And then we attack in Mark with our werewolf, and unless there's a PD dump here, we are probably going to be perfectly fine. There was no PD dump. Cool. Wow, killed them both at the same time. Nice. Very good. Okay, cool. Battles for the turn. Battles for the turn. We have versus Indies, 1 win, 0 losses, and 1 ping. Versus Vanheim, we have 1 win and 0 losses. And then versus Agartha, we have 2 wins and 1 loss. That. And that fight against Vanheim obviously was unexpected, a little bit of a bump, but, went very favorably for us. Holy shit. So that's pretty exciting. There were 2 other battles, one in the Magic phase as Vanheim Magic phased Ashdod's capital. That's kind of interesting. And they did so with a Van Jarl. Very kitted out, really interesting gear set, basically. With a single blood slave, so versus what looks to just be the Ashdod PD. So the Ashdod PD isn't going to have much to say about this. It depends on what what Vanheim is putting up. Blessing, or Misform, Blessing, Flight, Reinvigoration? Reinvigoration. Okay, so the Blood Slave is just here because... Let's actually pop back in. Prior to casting the Reinvigoration, yeah, the Van Jarl had 38 fatigue. I guess it is... Well, here's the thing, like... You know, I guess, you know, Van's just being cautious. Maybe if he had some sort of fatigue play, it would matter, but I don't know. I guess... Yeah, you know, Van's probably concerned about the idea of rigor mortis, I suppose. This Van Jarl up against the right kind of like rigor mortis trap, it wouldn't win, right? But he would outlast, because part of the risk of rigor mortis is that when you fatigue out, your stats plummet, right? You're basically stunned and you're gonna die. But with, you know, Girdle of Might, Reinvigoration 3, Encumbrance 4, you could probably stay unfatigued for quite a while, and maybe the Rigor Mortis does more damage to other people. This is, I guess, relatively low commitment from Vanheim, and at the end of the day, there's a flight on this Van Jarl. So if he does rout and he comes out of fatigue, he can just fly off, so he's potentially able to escape. I that's me kind of like interpreting what the intent is here, because I don't think otherwise. I don't think the reinvigoration matters if you're just thinking you're going to be fighting PD, right? Because 38 fatigue is not enough to really be concerned about. I thought he went up in the air and then he came right back down where he was. But yeah, this Van Jarl is gonna beat the shit out of this PD. None of this PD has magic weapons. They're not gonna be able to pierce through the mist form unless they get super duper lucky. They're not gonna hit, most likely, against a 32 defense Van Jarl. Glamored, etc., etc. Bind shielded. So, very, very easy victory for Vanheim there. I am curious as to whether or not I'm correct with the concern of Van was trying to maybe like see if he's catching like a rigor mortis trap from Ashdod or something like that. I don't know though. I don't I don't think that if that was the intention, I don't think this Van Jarl was intended to win against the rigor mortis trap, but basically like survive against the rigor mortis trap, right? Which would make sense to me. And then in Agartha actually attacked Ohm, so Agartha is sallying out with not much, actually. An Earth Reader with 2 fire jets? Question mark? So this is pretty interesting. Not from what Agartha's doing, but from what Ohm is doing. Because Ohm is actually thrown some more stuff into the mix since the last time we saw Ohm's army. And that is inclusions of things like the Bear Tribe with the Bow of War. Actually, I think we've seen that. But like more of these Adepts of the Golden Order, right? Lots of fire coming out here. But also a lot of high strength astral. So that's really cool. Crystal matrices ups. This one has a crystal matrix and a slave matrix. I think what that does is it overrides it, and there's no slave matrix right now, meaning there is no slave. There's only a master. I think what that means is that nothing happens, obviously, right? There's no number of communion slaves. 1. There is 1. It's question mark. I don't know. I think they're just mind burning though, which is a nice thing. You're like, you see mind burn. against Ulm, not Ulm using Mind Burn. These Adepts of the Golden Order are a really big pickup for Ulm. And actually, because of the Adepts of the Golden Order, that's one of those things where it's like, well, they don't need Lizard Shamans as much. They would still like Lizard Shamans, don't get me wrong. But they don't need Lizard Shamans as much. Okay, this is a very scary army from Ulm. Alright, that is it as far as battles go. Let's jump into unexpected events. We had 2 more unexpected events this turn. One in the Royal Green, another Rebirth event. So probably going to have those fire pretty frequently. And then in Boral, we have Seafarers have found a new port of call with lucrative trade. They are bringing home valuable wares, and tax gains have increased. So plus 15 income in Boral. Boral is the ported province that we took from Agartha, so that's pretty cool. Events this turn, 0 negative and 2 positive. Royal Green pop plus 240 and income plus 1. And then Boral income plus 15. Got that. And then probably the biggest news this turn, Typhon, or nation defeated, Oceania has been vanquished. Congratulations, Pelagia, for your victory there. And good game, Oceania. Sad to see you go. The last underwater bastion against the Pearl Kings. Oh no, that's not good. That's gonna be bad. So yeah, that's big news. Let's go ahead and jump over to movements for the turn and start talking about what's going on. So, most of what we're doing is hitting all of the portions. We're trying to squash the little, raiding squads that Agartha has, and we're just moving all over the place in that vein, right? We're moving into Ironwood Forest itself with a unit from Pachacuti. We're moving in front of it with Centennia, with the other Pachacuti. We're moving to the west of it in Snowford with this group. Moving into another group here. I think, right, like, this group probably loses, but might be able to do a bit of damage, Basically, we're just trying to hit all around everywhere that we can to try to get rid of this raiding group, have Ulm finish off the lands of Agartha down here. What I really want to be able to do is I want to not worry about this shit anymore, right? I want to be able to be like, okay, Ulm might not be done, but I am done with Agartha, right? So that's kind of the generalized game plan right now with most of these movements. Kusi is also continuing to move around to site search. We're going to move into Toledo next up, and then we're just coming back from Underhome with our Supayas. I did reach out to Vanheim, and kind of was like, oh shit, sorry for the bump, that sucks, etc, etc. And they were very like, yeah, it's whatever, no big deal, right? Like, lucky, good job, lucky for you, unlucky for me. Didn't have a big stink on it, right? Like, I know, or I have played with plenty of people, and I know there are people in the community that would use that as, because it's not like Van and I have a non-aggression pact or anything like that. But there are people that would be like, okay, I'm time for me to attack you, right? Like, that's enough cause for me to attack you. Let's attack, right? But Van, and who's to say, they might be elfing me right now, but that does not seem to be the case from the discussions that we've had. So it seems as if Van was just like, oh, well, wow, that sucked. And I think the most that they seemed to care about out of it was like, did you get any of the gear? And I told them straight up, right? Like, I got the chainmail of displacement and the pills of water breathing, and they were like, oh, lucky you, nice, good job. And that was that. So Fingers crossed. That's really all we have as far as like movements goes. Again, we're continuing to kind of like move scouts around and about to try to get a better picture of what's going on in the world. So let's talk about actual mechanical, tangible things that we can talk about. Recruitment for the turn. Recruitment, we are getting 1 Inca, 1 Akla, 1 Runanka, 1 Scout, and 4 Sun Guards. So, not a whole lot to really kind of like discuss as far as that goes. We want more Incas because, you know, I think Incas are kind of like one of our power points. We are going to want more Koyas in the very near future, I think. But for right now, I think we want more Incas. Aklas because we need more places to put lightless lanterns. The Runankas and the Scouts because I've got nothing else going on. I wanna have more vision and see what's happening around me. And then the Sun Guards we talked about. We're gonna be recruiting Sun Guards for the rest of forever, as best we can. So aside from that, we have Nazcan recruits, 41 Hatenruna and 2 Supayas going on over there. That's a decent little stack of free stuff. And then this turn, we actually do have special recruits. We have 3 wolves coming in this turn. We've got that. And the 3 wolves are because the alternative. So we didn't bump with Agartha in Mark, and I didn't expect that we would because I didn't expect that they were gonna just sit there. So the other reason why we were moving... Did I cancel that? I think I did cancel it. So this group was supposed to be heading... Oh no, maybe not. No. Never mind. My bad. Last turn, right? Like last turn we attacked into Mark with the werewolf. This turn we're moving in the force of heavy infantry. I'm not expecting. So I was a turn ahead in my thought pattern. I'm not expecting Agartha to go back to Mark, right? So what I am hoping is that this group of heavies and this werewolf can stick around here. This isn't a great province, but it's not the most horrendous province on the face of the planet. But its unrest is increased because of the slave market here. So we're gonna try to patrol it down. Same thing with this one over here, which is a better province, right? But again, we're gonna try to get these patrolled down when we can, so that we can start actually making some income from them. There's that going on. We do have some rituals this turn. We have 1 Summon Condor and 1 Haruspex. So we're finally firing that back off. I do want to get back to the point to where we are doing Dark Knowledge as well. And I do want to add... Oh, that's why. Motherfucker, my brain. That's the other reason why I want another Inca, is because I want to have an Inca just start doing Augury. Right? We have 10 fire gems. We have a fire gem income of 3, right? We augury every fucking province we have. Maybe we get up to like 8 to 10 fire gems, and that could actually mean something, right? That would be really, really nice. But we don't really have... All of our Incas are out and about leading armies, so I don't really have a augury caster right now. That's why, specifically, why we're recruiting. So, there's that. And then summon condors because we're still trying to project military might. And even if we don't, even if condors are kind of falling off at this point from a battle perspective, right? Condors are not the strongest thing anymore, even with the bless that we have. But what they are, even if they're not like the best in combat, they're still very good, right? Don't get me wrong. They're not crap yet, right? But what they will be good for regardless is patrol strength and siege strength. So even late game, when Condors really aren't that good because they have no armor, they're not super duper buffable, etc. They're still fine, but they're not great. They're still really, really good siege chaff, and patrollers, right? So we're still going to continue to produce those, at least for a little while. I don't know how much more we're going to do that, though. Again, I might be trying to get another Inca here in the near future if we turn around and go for Thaumaturgy 4 to start doing Auspex. Anything else to really kind of like talk about from a infrastructure mechanical standpoint? I don't think so. And I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about from a board state standpoint that I haven't already discussed in the past several turns. Oceania falling this turn kind of sealed the deal on the Coast Guard. There wasn't a lot of conversation, but there was definitely like we were getting to that point. So there is officially like a Coast Guard now. The forces of Nabaa, Vanarus, Arcus Vale, Vanheim, and myself all kind of like in a channel just talking about things. And we haven't like, we bandied back and forth with the idea of like, are we doing, Sea of Ice or whatever, right? I have like 6 water gems, so I'm like, sure, you can have that. I can't really participate in that, but I'm more than willing to have the discussions. I think really what it is, though, is it's a communication channel, right? It's a we need to know if someone Pelagia starts attacking Nabaa, right? Okay, that's a big deal. Everyone needs to know and needs to start putting pressure on Pelagia to stop or else, right? Like that kind of concept. So the idea is to basically just form a defensive alliance to make it to where, like, if Pelagia starts to focus one person, the rest of the alliance can be like, yo, that's not gonna, nope, that's not kosher, that type of thing. So. And other than that, we're just kind of like trying to see. Vanheim did move their big stack onto Ashdod, but Ashdod has a massive amount of undead and some giants there. It's going to take a while for them to pop this fortification. So they might be here for a while. And Ulm, I think, is ready to go, but they might be trying to reinforce. He seems very concerned. He doesn't want what happened to Agartha to happen to him, which I don't think is going to be the case, right? Obviously. But I expect Ulm to attack Agartha sooner rather than later. So we're kind of just waiting to see those fights and waiting to see what happens next. And trying to get some infrastructure up, right? Trying to get to the point to where we can maybe try to do something more than just be an annoyance. But the next 10 to 15 turns are going to be really important, because if we get jumped by Ulm or Vanheim or Pelagia, we're just going to die. It is what it is. But if we can work out an alliance where somehow we carve a chunk out of Pelagia or out of Vanheim or out of Ulm, I guess, right? If we can do something like that where we can add more lands, because this war with Agartha has given us some more territory, right? Like, not much, but it's going to give us, like, 4 or 5, maybe 6 provinces, something like that. We still don't have all of our original provinces back, so we're still small, but if we could get those provinces back from Van and maybe like a chunk of Van or a chunk of Ashdod, or if we could actually take from Ulm all of Agartha proper, right, while like Vanheim takes Ulm proper, or if in the Agarthan conflict, right, like we could take the Yis area while other people are kind of like harrying places, that could be really, really good for us and could, I don't want to say put us back in the game, but put us on the track to getting back in the game, right? Because even if someone just handed us, if Vanheim just turned around and was like, you can have all of this, right? Okay. Well, one, it would take me a while to pick up all of it, and two, it would take me a while to benefit from it. And so like even after getting some territory, it's still that situation of like we are far behind the curve. We need good things to happen. It's like a League of Legends game, right? Like we're so behind on gold, we're so behind on scaling that we need other people to make mistakes, right? And we need time to pass. It can't just be one or the other, right? If time passes and the status quo remains, we'll be irrelevant. If other people make mistakes, but then they recover from their mistakes and they come and kill us, then it's not going to matter for us, right? We need to gain stuff, which is the people making mistakes kind of concept. And we need time to pass so that we can benefit from those things, so that we can scale up our gem economy, if not our actual economy, to where we can get infrastructure in place and we can start getting our, more royal Malquis out and get our kind of like summoning factories, our Supaya factories on board, etc., etc. So, I don't know that that's gonna happen. I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm trying to have like good diplomatic conversations with everyone around us, and I'm trying to, project what I can where I can. But I don't know. I will say this. In the conversations that I have been having with people, right? They have been making comments, right, of, you keep saying that you're dead or you're, weak or what have you, but that's a lot of condors. And they're not wrong. 60 condors here. What is this? 30 condors there. 38 condors there. So over 100 condors. But I honestly don't think that that matters as much to the people around me. Obviously, it doesn't matter to Pelagia, right? I'm not sending condors underwater. I don't think it matters that much to Vanheim, right? Maybe it matters to Ulm, but again, I think Ulm is potentially my best ticket out of here, right? Like having Ulm is at a power spike, right? And if I can stay on Ulm's good side, then people will look at Ulm as not only Ulm having a power spike, but also Ulm having a power spike with a Nazcan vassal, right? Which is annoying, right? Like you can have these stacked ass Ulmish armies slowly walking at you while you're being harried by birds. Who the fuck wants that, right? So, I think the status quo is continue the end of Agartha, figure out if Ulm is willing to turn on Vanheim, basically is my only real option, or see if the Coast Guard feels like they can actually take portions of Pelagia. I kind of wish Agartha had been on the other side of the pond, or the fucking ocean, the river. Because if they were, and whoever else was over here, whether this was Vanarus or Naba or Arco or whoever, I don't think it matters, right? If we were on opposite sides, and then we could band together as part of a Coast Guard, I think at that point we have enough aquatic options between us. I don't right now, obviously, right? But like, we could create enough aquatic options between us with Supayas and things like that, and all the Agarthan aquatic stuff, that we could be an annoyance and potentially wear down Pelagia. But yeah, I don't know that we have a snowball's chance in hell right now, honestly. So yeah, anyways, I'm just kind of like mulling over the ideas and the concepts of things that are happening right now. I don't think anything big is going to happen in the next 5 turns or so, but something is going to have to happen in the next 10 to 15, or else we're going to just kind of like slide into irrelevance, and that's going to be that. So, fingers crossed that we can figure something out. See you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.